Today I'm going to be showing you an AI agent that can actually use a web browser just like a human can. So let me start off with a quick demo, show you exactly how this works, and then I'm going to show you how you can download this template for completely free and set it up so you can start exploring this yourself. So we can start by opening a live link to watch the agent actually interact with the web browser. You do that by opening this link that was sent to me in Telegram, and then this is what the agent is actually interacting with. So we can press play and watch the agent do its thing. So it's going to go to YouTube, and it's actually going to look up my YouTube channel. You can see the mouse up here. You can see it finds my channel. It's going to click on it, and then it's going to end the browser session right there. So this tool is very cool. You could see that it can move the mouse around, it can load web pages, it can click in certain places, it can even type out text and do search queries just like we saw. So there's really a lot of possibilities that we can do because we have now enabled an agent to be able to do everything that we can using a computer. So to get this template, go down to the link in the description. I've given you access to it. Just join my free community inside of WAP. Go to the post for the YouTube resources, and it will be the first post in there. So you can download the template. It will download as a zip file, so just unzip that file, and it will be as a JSON file. Once you've gotten that JSON file, we're going to come over to a website called n8n.io. At n8n, you'll just need to create an account. And once you've logged into your account, you'll be brought to an overview page. Then we're going to create a new workflow. And inside of this editor, since you've got that template, all we're going to do is go up to the top right and select these three dots, and then select import from file, just like that JSON file that you got out of the zip file, and it will bring you to a workflow that looks something like this. Now I'm going to briefly explain what's actually happening here, and then I'm going to get into showing you how to create your account for this and connect everything so you can start exploring this. So what we're doing is we're using a platform called Airtop. This is their website here, airtop.ai. And what we're doing is we're basically creating a new session for a browser, a virtual browser. Then we're going to create a new window inside of that browser. So we give it something like the URL. I just gave it Google and told the agent to do the rest. Then what I'm doing here is I'm just sending myself a link through Telegram so I can view what the agent is actually doing. I can have a live view of it and just kind of oversee the steps and the different movements and the actions that this agent is actually taking. Then we're passing that to this agent here, and we're giving it these tools below here. So all of these, as you can see, are tools from Airtop. And you can kind of read through these. They do have the names below. So we're loading a web page, typing in a text area. We're ending this session here. So after it's completed whatever task I told the agent to do, it's going to end the session. We can query a page, so it's basically just going to analyze the page itself, find any information that it needs, like where the search bar is, for example. So we can go and click on the search bar. We can click on an element, and then we can also scroll up and down the page as well. So to get started with this, we are going to head over to Airtop. I'm going to open up this first node here, and we're going to select Create New Credential. Now, in doing this, we need an API key. So if we head over to Airtop, you'll need to create an account. This is free to get started. You can see that there. Once we're logged into our account, we'll be brought to a page that looks something like this. And there's actually several things that we can do inside of Airtop. So the first thing we're going to need to do is go to the API keys, and you'll just want to create a new key. It'll give you the API key, and then you'll just want to paste that into this API key section here. Now the other neat thing that we can do is we can actually log in to different websites. We can do that by going to the profiles, and then you want to add a new profile. So it will just ask you to give this profile a name. I just named it myself. And then what you can do is you can actually press connect here, and then you'll enter a URL. So if I enter something like Instagram.com, something that I might need to log into and allow the agent to use my account in Instagram, you can just type in the URL click start session. And then what this is going to do is it's going to load in a virtual browser under this profile. And you can see that here. So I can go ahead and log into my Instagram account. And once I've logged in, it's going to actually save those credentials inside of this profile. And click finish once you're done. But what it does is it allows us to save our credentials and our login information in this specific profile. So if you can add multiple profiles here if you'd like, but what you can do is just create a profile, log into whatever accounts that you want the agent to be able to access. So I can go in and send Instagram DMs through my Instagram account by just logging in. And then what we can do here, once we've connected our account, is we're actually going to enter the profile name. So whatever you've given the profile, whichever profile you want to use, if you have multiple, you'll just enter the name of that here. And then we can go into the next node here. So next one is just creating a new window. We are just passing in a URL here. That is really the only thing you'll need to change. Is just the start URL that you want to access. I just did google.com and allowed the agent to search for YouTube and whatever else. So after that, we are then sending a message to Telegram. This just sends it to myself so I can have the live view URL here. So how I did this and how you need to connect to Telegram is you can head over to their website here, is telegram.org. You can create an account, download the correct app for whatever device you're using this on. And once you've done that, we can go into the app. You're going to start a new conversation, new secret chat, and you're going to start a conversation with what is called the bot father. It's a little bit weird, but it's capital B, capital F, bot father. It should do start, /start to start the conversation. If not, you can just type that out. And then we're going to create a new bot. So we're going to do /new bot. We'll ask us to name it, and then it will give us an API access token here. So you'll copy the text that I've highlighted right here. We can go back over into N8N, open up this node for Telegram, create new credential, paste in the access token here, hit save. And then what we can do from there is we're just going to click on the link right here, and it will allow us to start sending messages to that bot. It'll look something like this, typical text messages. And then we actually need a chat ID. So this chat ID is specific to the bot that we just made. And the easiest way to get that is we'll come up and add a plus here. I'll probably have this inside of the template. We're going to use a Telegram trigger and on a message. So what this allows us to do is that we can just send a test message to the bot, and then that will give us the information about that specific chat or that specific bot. So what this looks like is we're just going to select play on this node here. I don't know why that loads, but it is listening for that event to take place, and the event that it's listening for is just a message. So you can type anything in here, it doesn't really matter. Send a message, doesn't matter what, and you can see it has received that message, and you can see all of the information about that specific message. So under this section, we are going to reference the chat ID. So we have the chat ID right here. We're going to copy that long number, head over to the other node for Telegram, and then we're just going to paste in that chat ID right here. Then what we're doing is we are just sending that live link back to ourselves through this variable here. And as you can see, using a little bit of markdown, you don't have to know what this does, but it turns that word inside the brackets into a link that we can click on, which opens up that live view for us of the agent. So that's what that is doing. I'll leave this right above here. I'll set this to deactive. So you just, when you download the template, just turn this back to active by clicking the power button, send the message like I just showed you, and then get that chat ID. So up next, we have the actual agent that is going to be performing the task. So if we open up this agent here, we have two different prompts. We have the user message up here, and then we have the system message right here. So what I'm doing here is I'm just defining the task that I want it to actually do. This example, I was just saying go to YouTube, find my YouTube channel, gave it the username or the channel name, and then I'm saying click on my profile, and then once you've done that, you can end the session. So kind of just briefly outlining what I actually wanted to do. And then if I open up this system message, we are defining a role. So you're using a virtual browser, Airtop. You have all the controls that a human would have. We're giving it the list of the tools here. So scroll on the page, click, query, terminate session, type in a field, load a page, and then I can actually delete this. I did have a think tool in, but it was not using it, so I deleted it. But lastly, we have the task. It's just saying basically just perform whatever task I've entered inside of the user message. Perform the task using the tools above, and then once you've finished, terminate the session. Always remember to end the session when you're done. Pretty simple, just outlining the tools and giving it a little bit of background as to what it's actually doing. And then up next, we have the Airtop tools. So I'll come back to the model really quick, but all of these you can essentially just leave as is. You've already connected your Airtop account. Going to see what I've done here. Letting the AI define most of these and just give it a quick description as to what the tool actually does. These I'm actually filling in from the previous steps, the session ID, which is filled in when we are actually creating the session. And then same for these as well. So the session ID and the window ID, and then letting the model define some of the other attributes. So that is what that does. The only other thing that you might want to change is the scroll. I have it only to scroll vertically. You can add horizontal here if you like by clicking let the model define this. Lets the AI determine when it scrolls and how far it scrolls. And then I would add a description similar to the description I've added here. So I had an issue with it not being able to scroll, and it does have to be in a particular format. So I was specifying that format right here as well as in the prompt. So the next thing we need to do is we can connect the OpenAI chat model. I just chose to use the GPT-4o, a little bit more of a powerful model, just because it is doing more complex tasks, trying to reason with itself and figure out what to actually do on these websites. So how we can get that? So to connect your OpenAI account, so you can start using this model here, we are just going to look up OpenAI API. It'll take us to their API platform. We'll click login and then select API platform. From here, we're going to go to the dashboard on the top, go over to the left side and select API keys. From here, you just want to select create a new secret key. It'll ask you to give it a name, and then it will actually give you that key. So then you're going to paste that into this node here. So if we open up this node, select the drop down, create new credential, paste in the API key here, hit save, you'll be good to go. Now you do have to add some money to this account. It is not much and it does last a long time, but you do have to add money to use this. So that is it as far as connecting everything, and you should be good to go. So if you have any questions, drop a comment below. And if you're using this in a unique or just a cool way, definitely drop a comment below. There is a lot of things that I could have picked from when showing you the demo. Wanting to keep it pretty simple, but there is definitely a lot of different use cases for this, and this will open up a lot of different doors as far as using AI agents. So if you did get anything from this video, leave a like and subscribe, and that is all I have for you today. Have a good one.